Hey there, welcome to day 9 of our Get Up and Go free 30-day challenge. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Yesterday we talked about your change reaction. How do you react to change and challenges, disappointments, setbacks, problems, failures, etc.? How do you respond to those? And what we did is we brainstormed and we thought about a recent change or challenge that we faced, or maybe we went back to the beginning of COVID-19. We asked ourselves what we were feeling, what we were thinking, what our emotions were, what our beliefs were about that situation, and how did that impact the process we went through in order to deal with and handle that change and challenge. Because that is and was our current way of dealing with challenges and changes. What today is all about is a challenge to change your reaction. Change the way you react to things. And the tool we're going to use to do this is one I learned from Lynn Grabhorn in Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting. That it's actually a workbook that I like the best. I like her books, but I also like the workbooks. And she teaches a tool called flip switching. And basically, it's just like turning on or off a light and flipping a switch, right? When we flip a switch on or off, we allow the current or we cut off the current, right? So when we flip it on, we allow the current and the flow. When we flip it off, we disconnect. We turn off the light. We eliminate the flow of electricity. So how do we use this in evaluating our current process to get us to a better process? Well, number one, what I like to do is just list out all of the thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and things that I had or have about change and challenges right now. And then I take and I flip the switch and I ask myself, well, what else is possible? What could be possible? What's the opposite of this? And I've had some big examples of this in my life. I realized that prior to my sudden cardiac arrest, my primary question, which is another tool that we can use, was WTF. Now, I don't have to explain what WTF is. Most of us know what that is. But I realized that that was the question I was asking myself dozens and dozens of times a day, if not 100 times a day, about everything that was going on around me. Well, what does that presuppose? It presupposes that something's wrong, and I was always judging that something was wrong or it wasn't happening as fast or as quickly or as easily as it should be. So I was always in a super high level of stress. Well, following that event and in my time of recovery and cardiac rehab and things, I had an opportunity to look at and realize that that was my primary question and replace it with something that has served me much better. And the question I replace it with is, what am I creating now? So whenever I start to catch myself feeling frustrated or upset about something, the first thing I do is I say, well, what am I creating now? Am I creating more of a problem for myself or less of a problem for myself? And that is a little bit like flip switching, but with flip switching, I just list out everything and then I take the opposite of it. So for example, part of my current or process before COVID was, this is not happening. The belief that this isn't possible, this isn't happening. Well, how do you flip the switch on that? Well, we open up our minds to using all of our senses and paying attention to what is actually happening and how it's impacting us, each of us individually. This is unbelievable. I still say that a lot right now, given what's going on in the United States right now. I just shake my head and I'm like, this is unbelievable. And then I set it aside and I go about doing what is right for myself and my family. Because I might not believe it, but other people believe it. And if other people believe it, it's part of their reality, but I don't have to accept it as my reality. I hate change. I used to believe that I hated changes and challenges. And I now flip that switch to, I love challenges. Challenges are like my favorite thing in the world because I know every time I am faced with a challenge, an obstacle, a problem, I can find the solution, and that is just a stepping stone moving me toward what I want faster and faster and faster. So now I actually look for and love challenges. I can't handle change. I believe that there's no such thing as can't, but if I'm telling myself I can't handle change, I will tell myself and learn to believe that I can handle change. I deal with anything that comes my way. I've survived 100% of the days that I've been on the planet so far, so I absolutely positively can survive whatever happens, whatever comes down the pipe. I don't know what to do. This is probably one of the most common false beliefs people tell themselves, me included. I don't do it so much anymore, but I sure used to do it a lot. We'd say, I don't know what to do, so we can push off making a decision or a choice, because we're afraid to make a decision or a choice for some reason. So how do we get over that? We just take action. We decide. We take one small step toward what we want. That's all we have to do. I can't figure this out, or I can't figure it out. That's kind of like I don't know what to do. But again, there's no such thing as can't. We can do anything and everything we put our mind to. So we say, I can figure this out. I don't know how, but I'm going to keep trying until I figure it out. I will just wait and see what happens. Procrastination, one of my all-time favorites. If we wait to see what happens, we're giving up all of our personal control and power, and what happens probably isn't going to be in our best interest. So we can say, I will wait to see what happens, or we can flip the switch on that and say, I'm gonna decide what I want to happen and make that happen. This won't last. How many people have said this COVID nonsense won't last? Me included. But I guess I learned early on that it was going to last, and that we need to figure out ways that are best for us to deal with it. So what are some other ways and other things we can flip switch? I'm going to grab my magnifying glass so I can see this. I just made a list of some of the things that I do or have done in the past. My old process included resisting change. How do we switch that? Well, we accept what is. We accept what's going on and then get proactive on determining what we're going to do about it. Denial, disbelief. Well, we choose to believe what's going on. To ignore something and ignore parts of it, we just have to wake up and pay attention. Complaining. When I feel myself or see myself complaining, I find things that are that I can appreciate about the situation, that I can appreciate about the person, and I find ways to compliment instead of complain. I change myself from being a victim to a victor. If I get upset, angry, or negative, I look for calm and peace. I look to be unruffled. I look for the positive. I look for ways to take responsibility. If I'm looking for a way out, which I used to look for a way out of changing, I look for ways to take responsibility and control of the change. When I'm procrastinating, I make myself take action right away. I act now. If I want to whine, bitch, or moan, I find ways to compliment or find things to appreciate in the situation. When I want to do nothing, I make myself act and do something, anything, to get moving and get some momentum. When I want to escape, I engage. I get involved in problem solving and focusing on solutions. Instead of TV or food is my favorite escape. And I don't do drugs or really alcohol, but you know, people are going to have alcohol in moderation. I say just say no to drugs, but it depends on your situation. And with respect to food and television and other time-wasting activities that we could do, especially the media, stay off the media. I am on a media-free diet forever. But we need to just take care of ourselves and practice self-care and realize that whenever we're escaping, we're ignoring our self-care. So maybe instead of escaping into television, we go for a walk in nature. Freeze and do nothing, I just take a baby step. If I want to go into no action, but just kind of like freeze mode, but a little bit more active, I just take the next step. If I think about what is the next thing I can do, it doesn't even have to be a big thing, but the next little thing I can do, that gets me out of the no action freeze mode. You know, so beliefs, thoughts, and feelings, think about them and then ask yourself, what is something slightly better to get me out of this? Or a lot of times it's like the don't want exercise. What's the opposite of this? Because the opposite of that for sure will get you moving in the direction you want to go. So today, that's our action item. Take your list of thoughts, feelings, and beliefs that you had from yesterday and ask yourself, how could I flip the switch on these? What could my belief be that would make this work for me instead of against me? And then just share in the comments below one thing that you want to change about your current process. Just one, and then commit to change that and commit to making that change. That's it. I will be with you tomorrow, and we are going to dive right into the SOAP framework. Have an awesome day, and I'll be with you tomorrow. Any questions? Ask.